Welcome to the Anonymous Andrew podcast, Life and the Choices We Make. This is a podcast that explores all things as they relate to dating and romantic relationships, why we sometimes ignore or choose to ignore or miss the red flags. Red flags like gaslighting, cheating, lying, narcissistic behavior, deception, mental illness, addiction, and so much more. Join me each week as we continue my journey into the modern dating world with my weekend rants, anonymous guest dating stories, and experts who share their wisdom so I can help you navigate the dating terrain. If you are new to the show or have been following me from the beginning, hold on tight for the Anonymous Andrew experience. Greetings, Anonymous Andrew, with you once again. Life and the choices we make. So, last week's rant, and I mean last week's rant, not necessarily the weekend rant, I got some okay feedback on. And I'm going to try it again this week. Got to mix it up, folks. Got to try new things and different ideas. I don't want to be the same boring podcast that, whatever. I think you get, look, I'm new at this, fairly new, like a year into it, and I'm now comfortable and passionate about this, where I am just going to let myself go and play with my software, my mind, and see where it goes. And as the feedback comes in, or the reviews come in, or I don't know, maybe I'll just listen back to it and say it sounds terrible, and I'll just go back to the old format or try something different. I don't know. So, it's Monday night. I spoke to you last week that I was feeling a little bit under the weather. Thursday and Friday, I had some GI problems. That has gone away. And now I have what seems to be a head cold. You may or may not hear it in my nasal passages, but it's a constant runny nose and blowing the nose, and I finally had to stick up my nose one of those inhalers that whatever dries out your nasal passages. I know, too much information. I know. Hey, listen, this is what you get. I was talking last week about not getting enough action. Now that I'm ready to date and I have that desire to go out and meet women and pursue something, anything, just something actionable. It hit me, I think, late at night when I'm done with everything. Cooking, eating, podcasting, editing, checking emails, promotions, whatever I'm doing. And I climb into bed and I turn the TV on. I don't know about you, but there are nights when you climb in and there's really, whether there's something to watch, because I have, 5 streaming hubs or whatever. There's sometimes something that might grab your attention. Other times you just don't feel like really watching, whatever. I just put something on. But then I pick up my phone and I start going through my social media, because that's one of the areas of this podcast that I'm not keeping up with, is talking to my audience, promoting the podcast. I'm doing it. It's just not doing it enough. So I pick up the phone. I think it was Saturday night, I'm guessing. And I'm on Facebook, and down at the bottom, there's this little heart. And I remember, I don't know, many months ago, I had signed up for the Facebook dating feature that they have. And I'm not paying attention to what's going on in these apps. A lot of times they make these subtle changes, and sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they give you a little drop-down notification that something's new, pay attention to this, yada, yada, whatever. Anyway, I see this little heart, and I'm like, well, that looks new. And there's like a 2 there, number 2, and I click on it. And it takes me to the Facebook dating section of Facebook. I completely forgot about that part of Facebook because I signed up for it and I never really followed through with it. And apparently I guess I engaged with it but never did anything with it. And then again, I have no idea, but they seem to have rolled out a newer version of it. And in your dashboard down at the bottom, if you're into the Facebook feature, you have a heart. And you click on that heart. And this time it said, welcome to Facebook dating, set up your profile. And it, like any other app, you have to write a little bio, you have to upload some pictures, you have to choose your deal breakers, you have to, the same thing as every other app. But here's the good part. You don't pay for it. And I said to myself, well, that can't be good because that opens the door to just catfishing and scammers and frauds, and nothing good can come of it. But then I said, well, I'm running this podcast. I have had guests on about how to be careful online safety. I have some friends now that I've interviewed, Patsy, and now I'm on TikTok, and there's a bunch of people that I'm friends with on TikTok that are all anti-romance scammers, and they're always posting the latest scam, whatever. So the point is I think I'm a little educated, and so I signed up for it, and I'm on there, and I think it was Saturday night. Sunday morning, I wake up, I have 3 likes, and one of the features that they do is when you open up that section, whether you have a like or not, they start showing you pictures, and you have to set your preferences in I don't know, the settings portion of it. Like, you're male, you want female, you're female, you want male, you're gay, you want same sex. You got to set your mileage, you got to set your religion, your political views. All of it's optional. None of it is mandatory. It's just like it offers it to you. And so I just started clicking away and checking boxes and yes and no, and I have to tell you, out of the 10 or 12 apps that I've been on this past year, this was one of the most easiest ones to set up, and it seemed too easy. And they start showing you, right? So they're using an algorithm. They just start showing you women from those preferences that you choose, the type of woman, the ethnicity, the age, height, all that stuff. And they start literally throwing women at you. And instead of swiping you hit an X or a heart, and it says to you at the top that we want to get to know the type of woman you are looking for. So we're going to throw some women at you, and I'm sorry to put it that way, but it seemed like what they were doing. So women, forgive me, they're not throwing women at me, but they're presenting women to me, and I have to say yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And you sit there for 5 minutes, and you're teaching the algorithm what your type of woman is. Nobody else did this. I haven't seen this on another app. I mean, maybe subtly, as you swipe on some of the other apps, it maybe somewhere registers, okay, so he doesn't like blondes, or he doesn't like brunettes, or he doesn't like tall women, he doesn't like whatever. Maybe they're doing it, but Facebook comes right out and says it. We're going to just show you some women, tell us whether you like them, and we'll start getting to know the type of woman you like, and then we'll be able to match you with what you like. And so I sat there Saturday night for 10, 15 minutes, pressing buttons, the X's and hearts and X's and hearts and X. And Sunday morning, I wake up and I already have 2 or 3 matches. And the good part was they were local. If you've been listening to me, one of my biggest complaints about these dating apps, regardless of the distance that you've set, if I say I don't want anybody outside of 20 miles, I still get people from New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. It's almost like they just ignore you. Facebook didn't do that. I started getting women in my immediate vicinity. Even 2, the very next town over. And I just thought that was fantastic. And if you think about it, Facebook, and I don't know, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but how many millions, if not billion, users are on Facebook? And if, let's just pick a number, if 30% of them, well, let's go higher, if 35, 40% of them are single and are using Facebook as a dating app, that raises the pool to choose from. It just blows my mind. Listen, I'm not a social media person. I have an account on all of them. But if I check them once a week, it's a lot. The ones that I check daily are TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, the 3 major ones. I'm not on Twitter or X, whatever. And Threads, I forget that it's even there. LinkedIn, I'm on, but it's for the podcast, it works, and I'm getting some networking, and I have a LinkedIn account for my regular business. And I think there's a couple of others on there that I'm forgetting to mention. But the top 3, but the point is that Facebook has always been my first go-to, because that's the one that's been around. If you remember MySpace back in the early 2000s, then Facebook came along and kind of just rubbed MySpace right off the internet. I don't even know if it still exists. I have no idea if you can log on to MySpace or download. I have no clue. But I was huge on the MySpace when it was out. And then when Facebook came along, like everybody else, I jumped on Facebook. And I've had a Facebook account now for 15 plus, maybe 18 years, something like that. And I've been on and off and on and off. And when I started a mood disorder group many years ago. I opened up a bunch of different groups, and every once in a while I'd pop on and pop off and pop on. I wasn't one of these Facebook users that would use Facebook as that soapbox that you scream on that you're anti-Trump or you're anti-left wing or you're anti-right wing. Or I never use it for political gain or agenda. I even don't like some of the, when you scroll through your feed, some of the stuff is just silly. Now, what I do like, and I'm finding it really interesting, is that when Instagram was bought out by Facebook and they merged, they're basically the one and the same. So you now, if you post a reel to Instagram, it shows up on Facebook and vice versa. So anyway, none of this has anything to do with dating, except the fact that I've joined now the Facebook dating community, and it is, in my 3 days of using an opinion, tremendous. I just think it's fantastic. And I know that there are going to be more scams and catfishing and or stalking of people that I have to be extremely careful and cautious. So anyway, I think that's my rant for tonight. I just wanted to tell you guys where I'm at. I was about to throw everything out. As you heard me last week, I'm stuck, and I can't find a freaking woman to chat with, never alone date with. I did get some match on Hinge the other day, and I'm kind of going back and forth. She's just not my type of woman, but there's nothing wrong with her. She's a nice looking woman, and she lives not too far away. I just look at her and I close my eyes and I say, can I imagine myself with this? And I know, I don't know the woman, I haven't met her, but her appearance, I just closed my eyes and I just said, if I'm not, listen, guys, for the women listening, we are very visual. Extreme. You probably, if you don't know that by now, we're visual guys. That's why we like porn and whatever, eye candy. We're visual creatures. So what we see impacts us, that hits our dopamine and all that medical stuff, which I know a little bit about, but I'm not going to get into. So anyway, I'm looking at this woman and I'm saying, no, I just don't. But that's a problem, because this woman could be the nicest, sweetest. I heard a phrase the other day, again, with the cliches and the things. There's no such thing as a perfect person in a relationship, but there is a perfect person for you. And when I heard that, I said, yes, that's what I'm looking for. The perfect person for me. And you have to think about that statement for a minute. No, nobody's perfect, and you're never going to find a perfect person, but you might find the perfect person for you. Or in this case, me. So, all right. I am going to do this all week long again. Although tomorrow night I have an interview with a lady who has a Facebook group for dating. Not dating like in dating stories. It's called Dating Debacles. And I met her I heard her on another podcast. I invited her on mine, and she's got some funny stories. And I joined the group, and it's quite entertaining. You can go on there and tell your dating stories and comment on others. It's kind of and it's also got some romance scam stories. And it's what she's doing is she's helping. It's mostly women are on there, but she invites everybody on. But what she's trying to do is try to help and educate people to watch out for the bad people on the dating apps. So anyway, I'm going to be interviewing her tomorrow, and she'll be on one of my episodes down the road. And on that note, my eyes are starting to close because I'm going to climb into bed. And no, I'm not going to have any chocolate chip cookies or ice cream tonight. I'm going to take a break, let my body heal. I got to get rid of whatever's in between the gastro last week and now I got this cold. I got some other exciting things I wanted to talk about, but it'll have to wait for the rest of the week. And there I go rambling. So now comes the music, and I will fade out and say ciao, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night, or maybe Wednesday.
I'm losing my mind, losing my mind, falling away. I can't see straight. I'm losing my mind, losing my mind.
Anonymous Andrew with you. Life and the choices we make. So it's Wednesday night. I skipped Tuesday. In this continuance of an experiment, I don't even know it's really an experiment. I'm just trying something new. And I'm trying to get some feedback on whether you guys like it or not. So I don't know if I brought this up in either last weekend's rant or this week's, but I found myself on Facebook dating app. And it's a long story how it unfolded, but I signed up with Facebook's dating feature, I guess that's included, several months ago. And either A, I forgot about it, or B, it was in development, although I've heard from somebody that it's been around for years. But a couple of days ago, I was just scrolling through my Facebook, and I noticed a little heart at the bottom, and it had like the number 3 on it, and I clicked on it, and lo and behold, it told me I had 3 likes. And I click on it, and somewhere in there it says, oh, by the way, you got to complete your profile. So somehow I got some likes on a half-assed profile, which makes you scratch your head going, you know, who's going to like somebody who doesn't have a complete profile? So I finished the profile. And what I found interesting about it was that it's like any other app. It just asks you a bunch of questions, your gender type, and what you're looking for, and you upload pictures. And I actually think I went through this all with you already. And but what I'm really enjoying is that every day I am getting likes. More than any other app. And again, I think I might have explained this. It kind of makes sense. If the odds are that if Facebook has 50 billion users, of which 20% of them or whatever percent are single and looking for dates, and Facebook already knows where you are. They basically have your whole information. The whole concept of these platforms is they gather information about you. So they're throwing women at me, and they're local, and the app will just randomly throw women at you, and it says to you that just tell us whether you like this woman or not, and we're going to learn the type of women you're looking for. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means the type of like their physique, or whether they're their distance, their ethnicity. I have no idea. But I just started playing with it, and I got matched. It was like almost one of the most quickest matches that I've gotten on any dating app. Unfortunately, it is with a woman that I did see on another dating app. And while she's not a bad-looking woman, beautiful smile and seems vivacious or whatever that term is, just not my type. And I know, here we go back to the types again. But I have my type. And there's two sides to this coin. Whether I can pursue chatting with her because it said we matched and you guys can start chatting, and I haven't done so yet. This was like last night or something. And for the purposes of this podcast and purposes of just getting familiar, getting back out there and meeting women and talking to them and just starting up conversations and practicing the dialogue, it might be good. But I don't want to mislead this woman. I don't see me and this woman in a long-term relationship. And what's pretty good about the Facebook dating app, they also tell you in their profile, they don't make you, but I think they ask you what you're looking for. Are you looking for something casual? Are you looking just for a friend to chat with? Are you looking for romance? Are you looking for long-term? And then I think one of the options was, are you looking for marriage? It was a whole gambit of choices, and it'll tell you right in this other person's profile. This person checks off all your boxes, or this person checks off half your boxes. It tells you. I'm astounded and befuddled or mind blown by this because why can't the other apps do this? It seems so much easier. So far, I'm enjoying it. And every night, for the last 2 nights that I've gone to bed, I've sat there for 20 minutes before I go to bed, and I start Xing or hearting the women that I find my type. And then I think this morning I woke up and there was a match. So now I got to go decide what I want to do with this match. And here's my problem. I just got finished telling you guys that I want to start dating with intent. So while that might be a very vague statement, it means to me it means that I want to start dating with women that I like and start going out on real dates and follow up on them and start dating multiple women at once. And this is the way to do it. But if I'm not 100%, let's knock a few percentages off that. If I'm not even like 70% attracted to this woman, what do you do? Do I say to her, look, hi, we matched, but I'm not really into you? No, I can't say that. So I could chat, and I could fall back on the podcast. I could bring up the podcast, and of course they'll ask me about it, and then I can have them go look at it. And if they pass the podcast test, if they listen to the podcast and then they come back to me and they're still interested in me, I was interviewing somebody yesterday, and she'll come on in a couple of weeks. She runs a Facebook group, and she does the same thing. She runs a Facebook group for people. It's called Dating Debacle, and she sends her potential, the guys she meets on apps, she sends them to the dating group and says, hey, go check this group out. I got some videos up there. I'm a real person. You can go check me out. And if they come back to her, she'll pursue with them. So she's using her Facebook group as a like a litmus test, and I could do the same with the podcast. I don't know if that's like a moral or ethical thing to do, but over the summer I did that. I let few women listen to my podcast, and 90% of them ran. The only one that didn't ran was Helen. She came back, but she's the one that called me out on it. She said, I listened to your podcast, and it sounds like you still got a torch for your ex. So, by the way, let's talk about that for a second. I had a phone conversation tonight with one of my female friends, and I mentioned that I'm coming out of the fog. Like, I'm starting to wake up. I'm starting to realize that this relationship from last year is over, and I know that's been over. It's been 14 months, but it was such an intense relationship that I still think about her from time to time. And of course, there are, as I mentioned many times, there are so many things around the house that are hers or she brought down here, decorations, kitchen utensils, just odds and ends that are hers that she just left here, because when we broke up, there was no coming over and collecting our things. It was just a very abrupt end to the relationship. I went my way, she went her way, and we never spoke again. But I'm all over the place in my apartment, and I see things that remind me of her, and then of course my mind starts to go drifting into the relationship. But I am truly over her, but she'll never fully be out of my head for a myriad of reasons. So, and then I met another woman on Hinge, which I think I told you about, and I haven't met or been matched on Hinge in the 3 months I've been on there, and all of a sudden I got a match. And this woman, same thing. Attractive. There's nothing wrong with her. She actually seems to be a really wonderful woman, a nice lady. It's just not my, like, again, if I close my eyes, I try to envision myself with her. But here's if I don't go on dates with these women, I will never know what is out there. I can't start sabotaging the dating process by just pictures and profiles. I got to get out there and start meeting these people in the real world. And if the date doesn't go well, if there's no chemistry, or if there's no spark, then I can simply be very nice and casual about it and just say, I had a great time, but I just don't think we're for each other. But that is, and what's the opposite of that? Ghosting, right? So, you go on a date with somebody and you just don't talk to them again. And while I have done that, I don't condone it. I don't like ghosting. I don't think it's right. I think it's rude. I have done it. It's been done to me. So, again, I'm stuck as to what to do here. Anyway, I just wanted to pop on tonight and just tell you where my head is. I think I probably repeated some stuff I spoke about either last week or this week, but I'm stuck again in the middle. Like, I'm liking my single life, but I got that itch and I want to start dating, and I'm being offered women to date, and I'm now like looking at them going, but I really don't want to date them because they're not my type of women. And I know that's just not a good way to approach the dating scene. I have got to get out of my comfort zone and start dating women of all types. It's simple as that. So, I'm still fighting some sort of cold. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you can still hear it in my voice. So, I've come home. I'm home. I've eaten dinner, and I'm gonna crawl into bed. I gotta shake this thing. I'm tired from it. My nose is just running, and I would really like to. And I was supposed to go to Walgreens tonight and pick up a script, and I forgot. So I got to do that tomorrow. And tomorrow I got plans tomorrow night, yada, yada, yada. So, all right, guys, I'm just wanted to pop on and just keep in touch and tell you where my head's at. And the funny part is I don't even know where my head is at. So, all right, Anonymous Andrew, I'll talk to you tomorrow night. Ciao.
I'm losing my mind, losing my mind, falling away. I can't see straight. I'm losing my mind.
Greetings, Anonymous Andrew with you. So it is Thursday night. Last night was Wednesday, and I came home and I did my usual stuff, and I took my medication. I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm on a bunch of medications for my heart. And then I also take a medication to help me sleep at night. And I thought I took one pill. And you know when you like dump out some pills in the palm of your hand and you think you see, okay, one white one, one pink one blue one. I don't know what happened, but I think I ended up taking 2 of the sleeping pills. And before you know it, a half hour later, I was like slumped over my desk. It pays to count your medicines before you take them. But I be honest with you, I've only done that maybe once in the past couple of years. So needless to say, I was out for the count. And I even woke up late today for work, which is extremely unusual. I have a routine that is just like clockwork, and it completely threw me off. Okay, I have a little bit of a rant tonight, and it's, 6 months ago I would have begged for what I'm about to tell you, but right now it's kind of kicking my butt. So I think I told you guys twice that I joined Facebook dating, and I'm finding it oddly so much better than the other dating apps. And what's boggling my mind is it's free, and it's got such better, I'm telling you, all day long, I am getting likes, the notifications on your cell phone from Facebook. And, as you have Facebook, you get notifications all day long. But these ones are like, Jane likes you, Susan likes you, Marianne likes you, Liliana likes you, whatever. It's just unbelievable. And I didn't get a chance, obviously, last night to look at them. And today, but I got a bunch yesterday, and I got a bunch today. No exaggeration. I must have 15 women in my queue on the Facebook dating app that have swiped, I guess, right, or pushed the heart. On Facebook, you don't really swipe. You hit the X or you hit the heart. And so I have to go now into there and, look at them and look at their profile and see whether or not that they're within a distance. I have my radius set for a certain mileage, and I will not date without like 15 miles outside where I live. I'm just not going that far. But the point is I have to go through all these these profiles, and either like or just, I almost said discard. I have to either like them or X them out, saying no, they're not for me. And on top of that, I got 2 on Hinge that are waiting to talk to me. That it's been several days now and I haven't gotten back to them. And I'm trying so hard not to ghost, not to disengage. I told you guys a couple of episodes ago that I want to date with intent. It's I just 1 fucking year ago, I would have begged for this, although I wasn't really ready to date and my head was in a different space. But when I was like on the dating apps, I was getting, here and there. And then I told you a couple of days ago that it was so dry. It was just no action happening. And almost like overnight, I'm getting, I don't want to exaggerate, but a dozen or so likes on Facebook, of all places. So anyway, it just boggles my mind. It's freaking strange that for 6 months I paid. I'm just throwing out a number, but it could be $600, $700, $800, and for dating apps, and some of them I re-subscribed. Some of them I'm not going to. And then I also said to you the other day that I may just give up the dating apps entirely and just go organic. I listened to Rory today on Crimes of the Heart. As you guys know, that's my favorite podcast. And she hasn't been on dating apps in a long time. And I've been talking and hearing there's this trend that might be starting where people are getting tired of the dating apps. And I'm going to make a prediction that the dating apps are going to start to suffer. I heard on a dating I heard on a podcast yesterday that Tinder is now introducing an elite version. So you pay $500. This is second or third hand information, so anybody can go verify this, go Google Tinder, whatever. But this is what I heard. $500 a month, and you get the elite version of Tinder. I have no idea what that comes with. I don't know if you get a matchmaker or you just get better quality people or they... I have no idea. But it's beyond my wildest dreams why I would pay $500 on Tinder. But the agenda behind that was that Tinder was losing money. Why? Because people are leaving the dating apps. Now, I don't know about you, but $500 is not going to bring me back to a dating app. You want me back on that dating app? Do something about how they structure the algorithm. Come up with a better idea. But you know what, folks? This is what season 2 is all about. We're exploring all aspects of the dating world and the dating apps and organic dating. Quick update. There's no information on the laundry lady. I think I'm going to let that one go. So here I am. I'm sitting. I feel like I'm in the middle of the desert, surrounded by all these options. I could stay single. I could casually date. I could talk to a few women, or I could take it seriously. And there's a bunch of other little options, I guess, they're in there. And I don't know what to fucking do. I really don't. I have found myself to be so busy with work. Work has gotten insane. And I do have a vacation coming, and I'm taking off towards the end of the year. But I come home and again, I'm not going to repeat everything, but I go through my routine, and by the time I'm like ready to get into bed, I still haven't done half the things that I want to do. There are 6 social media accounts that I have yet to check. And I keep getting all these notifications that I got a new follower, I got a new message, I got 15 likes, whatever. And I have to keep up with the social media because that's how I spread the word about the podcast. So anyway, I'm rambling, and I just wanted to jump on there and say that it scrambles my mind like an egg, like how Facebook has become my number one. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but it's become my number one go-to app for I'm getting likes. I don't know why. I can't figure it out, other than the fact that there's probably 17 to the 10th power more people on Facebook than there are on Bumble and Hinge. And so you're going to have more women, more people looking at your app, at your profiles. All right. I can't even get the words out. So, all right. So it's Thursday night. May pop on tomorrow, may pop on Saturday. We'll wrap this all up. I got an episode coming up on Tuesday. That's another whole story. I'll get into tomorrow night. All right. Here comes the music, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. I can't see straight. I'm losing my mind. Hey, Anonymous Andrew here with you. So it's Friday night. Just got home from work. Long week. Ate dinner. And so let me jump on and say hello. I have some very good news, and I'm a little reluctant to talk about it. As they say, sometimes you jinx yourself. But I'm going to subtly talk about it. There was... See, I don't even know how to present it. I may be getting a guest on the show in the not too distant future that geez, this is where I don't know how to present this. Let's just say that she is extremely well known in her field, and she knows, she has written multiple books. She has maybe I could put it this way. She's a crusader and has been for the past 10 years in the dating world. From what my research shows me, mostly for the empowerment of women on the dating apps and the swiping culture. But she's got also a documentary out on HBO. She is well known on the New York Times and Vanity Fair. And I think she's got, and forgive me to the guest if she listens to this, I think 4 or 5 books, of which several of them were bestsellers. Anyway, I have been in contact with her, and she has agreed to come on the show. And I'm excited. And I'm trying to be very calm about it because this could be a very pinnacle moment for me in this podcast. Not to downplay any of the guests that I have on now. All of them have been great. I have some great guests still coming up. But this one guest specializes specifically in what this season is all about. And of course, the dating apps and the horror that's going on with them. And when I say that, I have to be partial. While I'm on the dating apps, and I have used the dating apps, and I have met women on the dating apps, and I have a little bit of a thorn on my side because of some of the last relationships that I met women on dating apps. It's not necessarily the dating apps' fault. I do have a guest coming up, and once again, I've said this, that she said the dating apps don't suck, the people do. This guest that may come on may have a different point of view. But we'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of tease you with that. I don't think podcasters normally do that, talk about upcoming guests like that, but until it's booked. But let's just say there's a conversation between the two parties, and we'll see where it goes from there. So I am super excited. And one more thing, and then I'm going to do my Friday night retire. I think I mentioned over the week or last week, I don't know, these are all blending into one big rant, that there was very, very little to no action on these dating apps. And I did praise Facebook's dating for being very... I thought, I still think right now Facebook has the best dating app. And it still blows my mind that it's free. I have gotten more and more likes. This entire week I'm going to guesstimate somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 likes from women on the Facebook dating app. I humbly say that I have not accepted all of them because, again, some of them are outside my radius. Some of them just weren't my type. I did mention that the dating app tries to learn the type of woman, but I don't know what algorithm, what they're trying to learn about me, whether it's the mileage, whether it's the personality, the physique, or I have no idea, but they're trying to learn the women that I'm more likely to attract or swipe right on, or whatever they do. And in doing so, I have gotten, I guess there's women, so flip the coin over. There are women who are now starting to see me because I finished my profile this week, and now I'm an active member of this community. And I guess my picture and my profile is being shown to more and more women. And I'm getting likes. I currently have 3 women that I have not only have liked, but we have matched. So they like you. You get a little message says Jane Doe likes you. And if you like her back, it becomes a match. And then you can communicate. And I have 3. And then I still have one on Hinge that I'm talking to. So currently I went from 0 to 60 in a week. And this is boggling my mind because this past year, I didn't want to date, or I did date, but I wasn't dating with intent. And then went full circle, and then I came to you and said, I want to start dating with intent, but there was nobody to date. And now all of a sudden I got, here we go with the expressions. When it rains, it pours, right? So I think, all right, so I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I'll climb into bed and turn on the TV and start looking at or conversing with these women and see if I can get something going. I have no idea where it's going to go. I don't know if I'm going to meet anybody. I have to look at their profiles, but this is the time to do it. On a Friday night, sitting home in bed, and it's cold out, and it's yucky and damp, and so what a better place than in bed under the covers with the TV on, a couple of candles burning, and I could play with my Facebook app and all of the other apps and social media and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, we'll wrap this up tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Saturday, and I'll drop this. I'll finish it up, and you'll have this for the weekend. Until tomorrow. Ciao. Okay, it is tomorrow. Well, it is today, Saturday. So we're going to wrap this up. Once again, I've gone way over. So I'm not sure this experiment is working. I don't want to do hour-long rants. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm just playing with this. So, quickly again, I don't want to keep beating the dead horse. I don't even know that's a phrase anymore. The Facebook dating feature of Facebook has been blowing me away. I not exaggerating here. Over the past week, I have gotten up to 12 matches. I think actually some more than that. And of course, the matches, it's just that the women like me. I look down at Facebook and they say, hey, you got 3 more likes. So if you look down at the person or the profile and there's an X and there's a heart, and if you like them and you want to match with them, you click the heart. If you don't, and again, I'm getting distances like that are 20, 40, 50, 60 miles away. So I immediately eliminate those. I'm not looking to travel, and I've said that 100 times. But I have now found myself with 4 women that I am engaging with on the Facebook app. I didn't have this much luck or this kind of result from Bumble and Hinge and all the other ones combined in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of paying for it, nevertheless free. And so, listen, I'm not here to give Facebook props. I'm not here to promote Facebook, but I'm just astounded by the amount of likes I'm getting on Facebook. And I know I got to be careful, and I can't be like naive to think that some of these are not scammers or fakes or catfishes or whatever. But you're going to get the same type on the other apps as well. So just the same risk, so I vet them. So this morning I wake up, it's Saturday morning, and it's one of my few mornings that I can literally not set the alarm clock. I could just sleep. My meeting in the morning, my AA meeting, isn't until 10 o'clock. So, I'm a 5:30 a.m. riser every day. So my body just naturally will get up between, 6:30 on a day that I don't set my alarm. I think I woke up at 6:45. grabbed my coffee, sat down in front of the computer, which is my routine. I check my emails, check my social media, blah, blah, blah. And I look down and I see I have not only more likes and more matches, but I have some chats, some messages. So there's this woman, the next town over, literally might be a mile away at the most. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. She messaged me, but let me preface that we have been talking for 2 days. It's been just very casual. Hello, hi, but I forget exactly what we said. But this morning it blossomed into a full-blown conversation. I sat for almost 40 minutes nursing my coffee and trying to get my brain cells collected to talk to each other. And I'm having a conversation with this woman in the next town over. And again, I got to keep saying this to not just for myself, but for you. Be careful. We don't know anything about these people, but you will sort of get, your intuition will tell you at some point whether this person is a scam, a catfish, somebody after something with an agenda. And after this conversation this morning, I don't get a sense of anything bad. So, and so she basically asked me how my weekend, what my plans were. And I just rambled off that I had this to do, that to do, and then we started talking about our grandchildren, and I told her I would catch up with her later today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll reach out to her later. There's a couple of other things that I would mention about this conversation, but I'm going to keep that to myself. I have decided not to divulge everything. And there is a specific reason for that. So here is the good news. And it's not a rant, and it's not me going off on somebody. It is that I am finally, and I think I said this either this week or last week, I'm feeling not just the itch, but I'm starting to feel as if I'm feel normal again. Like I can do this. This is not, I've been complaining this whole season or last season and the whole podcast that Laura, my ex-girlfriend, broke my trust. I can't trust anybody. I can't do this. I can't do that. How am I going to go dating now? She ruined it for me. No, not at all. I am getting excited that I'm starting to talk to women again. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if the next Mrs. Anonymous Andrew is waiting for me on Facebook or any app, and whether anything's going to develop in the next few months. But I'm in no rush. I'm enjoying these conversations, and I'm enjoying just meeting new people. There was another woman who is, if I had to guess, 40 miles, 50 miles north of me. And it's still considered right outside New York City, but it's completely the other side of New York City where I am. And so there's like 3 bridges and several toll booths, and we're talking about an hour and 15-minute drive. And we connected and we started talking, and she and I both kind of rolled our eyes at each other and said, "Wouldn't you know it? We both like each other. We both matched. And she's a hottie." And she kind of indicated, I guess this is like she was going to say, I guess we just shouldn't pursue this. And I came back to her and I said, no, why can't we talk? What Facebook does is, I mentioned this already, that when you sign up, you can say, what are you looking for? You can look, I'm just looking to chat with somebody. I'm looking to meet people. I'm looking to make friends. And then it goes into the romance. I'm looking for a casual thing. I'm looking for a romance. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. And I don't remember what this woman was looking for, but I said to her, I would like to keep talking to you. I think you're interesting. I think you're attractive. I'm not promising anything. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to come up an hour and a half to be with you. But she was intriguing enough to want to keep talking to her. So I'm going to keep talking to her. I don't know. God, if I haven't drilled this into this podcast, that I will not travel 2 hours or 2 states away to date somebody. But if I connect with somebody, really connect with somebody, and we start to really hit it off and we start talking on the phone, and hey, you never know. And like they say in the lottery, you got to be in it to win it. I'm not going to narrow down my options so quickly now. Now that I have some people to talk to, let me just talk to them. If it goes nowhere, it goes nowhere. But no foul, no hard, whatever. Here we go with the phrases again. Whatever it is. No harm, no foul. Right? So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Anyway, I have spent the entire day editing. I found 3 other episodes that I hadn't edited yet, and I recorded a new episode today. So I am completely fried and done with podcasting today. So I'm going to say that's my rant. That's a wrap. And this coming Tuesday, I have a new episode for you with a woman named Yael Dubin. And she's a dating coach, and it was a very pleasant interview. I think you'll get something out of it. So until next weekend, folks, I don't know if I'm going to do this again next weekend. I may just, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I am doing this one day at a time. Until next time. Ciao.